Hi, it's Artem here. This is the first video in my series of videos where I will teach you how I use Next.js to build something useful, to build apps, how I do it, like what you need to know about Next.js, and I will try to keep it as straightforward as possible. Just the useful information that I use like in my day-to-day work, what you need to know, and just some tips and tricks along the way. So we will build like a teacher AI app where you can log in or sign up. Let me show you. So you can sign in with your email. You can also create an account. We will integrate the magic link. So a passwordless sign up. Then we'll have like the app where you can select the tools to generate, let's say, lesson plan. We can input some information here. It's just random right now, I'm just showing you. But yeah, you select like a subject, a grade, duration, some objectives, like what you want from it. And you will add like a tips that the user need to see. For the styling, we use Shadcn. This is the like what I use for my styling. Then here we'll integrate some rich text editor. We will add some ability to modify the text, also regenerate with AI, export via PDF. So you have your export here. Also, you can go to your generations page. You can see all your generation. You can edit them. You can delete if you want. You can create new that will you will navigate to the tools page. Also, we'll work on the settings page, token reduction, upgrade page, and some like minor details. In this video, I want to start with just the fundamentals. I will show you how to setting up my Next.js projects from scratch, what is needed, and just like fast how you can go from nothing to like a deployed application, how I do this. So this is our plan. Super fast, super straightforward, 4 points: setting up project, understanding folders routing, syncing with GitHub, and deploying to Vercel. Let's start from my folder. We go like create a folder on your computer, name it something. Let's say Next.js test. Then we open our editor. We open like a fresh new window. And then we just take our folder and move it to our editor. Okay, we are inside. Next. Usually, like, we need to run a command to initialize the project. Just to save our time and like do not remember this thing, we just go to Google and just input Next.js. We open the first link and here we see the command. We just click it to copy. We paste it inside. So we paste it. It's asking us for the name. If you following along, just do // to basically initialize the new Next.js application in this repository. So in our Next.js tags in this folder. And here, like, a couple of questions. You don't really need to care that much about this. Initial settings is quite good, but I will explain. The first is like if you want to use the TypeScript, if you want to enable the linter, if you want to use the tailwind. So like, what's your preferred way of styling? We use tailwind for the simplicity in just the most efficient way for styling the CSS, for my opinion. Then if you need like additional source directory, I mean, some of the people like it, but I just keep it like no, but I quite like just the less folders, the better. And the app router, yes, it's just like a new way of working with Next.js. So just keep it on yes. And modify import ls if you want to, instead of importing with like // import with like this. So just for now, just keep it like no. So you will have the default import ls. Yeah, it's just modifying the repo. it's a lot of like boilerplate stuff created for you, just some package.json, some git ignore and other. This is not really that important, but what I usually do is I go to git ignore, I double check that I have .env created like this. I see that it's there. So environment variables, all my like OpenAI keys, some other variables for the database connection, all will be stored secured, so it's not going to be pushed to GitHub. Then I will add additional stuff. I sometimes keep my like to do in the like a file like to do md, so I'll just keep. I don't really want to push it to GitHub, so I will just also ignore it. This is done as well. Now what we have, so just to explain here, we have our app folder. Just briefly, let's go together. CSS, global CSS, it's where you define some CSS styling that you want applied globally. Favicon, straightforward, easy to understand. It's just if you want to change your favicon, instead of using the Vercel logo here, you just can replace it with your actual application logo. We will do this later. Fonts is fonts that you want to use in the app. You want to store them, or you want to you can import it via Google Fonts as well. But here you see it's like predefined, like some GIS fonts. This is actually quite nice looking font. If you want to keep it like it is, like without even modifying it. Layout page. This is your default layout and default page. Layout.tsx. This is the your like main shared layout. What does it mean? Layout lets you reuse, so you can apply some of the styling, some of the settings across different pages. So all the pages at the end of the day nested inside this root layout. You can also nest layouts. I will show you later. But for now, understand that page is this, all of this like styling applied just for this page. If you use something inside the layout, you will add some elements, some tailwind styling. This styling will be applied, so the page will be nested inside the layout, and all of this will be visible on this page. So we will see this later. Also, what we have here, so we have fonts, we have favicon globals. Now run the command to start development server. We can use like npm dev, we can use npm run dev. It depends on how you like to work on this. I usually just go with npm dev because it's faster. We are starting development server. So what we are currently doing, let's see. We start a development server on the port 3001 because I'm running like other application on port 3000, and we have this link that we can access. So if we click on this link, command click if you're on Mac to open it in the new tab, we just have this boilerplate code from Next.js initialize command. Let me quickly show you like how it's all working, because it's will easier to understand for you. So if you go here and you will go to the page, basically it's what we see there is our like root page. Right here, how I usually doing this is I'm just deleting all of this stuff. And let's just see some suggestions from AI, and let's delete this as well. So we just hello world, and we will go here and we see. So you see, it's also applied the dark mode here because I see the dark background because I'm like on the dark mode of the browser. We see the hello world here. But what if we add something to our layout right here? So let's say I want to add something here. Let's add div, and let's just keep these suggestions just to showcase because it's faster. So it's what it's created for us is just here will be header, here will be footer, and here our main, well, we have the nested children. How the layout works, you always need to pass the children here. children is a like valid React node, and this is allow you to basically nest everything together. So what we should see right now, we should see the header on our page, footer below, and on the middle we should see our children, which is our page with the hello world inside. Let's see, header, hello world, footer. It might be not really straightforward for you now, but let me show you something else. So let's like add a routine here. How the routine works, you have the app folder, which is your /root. So if you go to the browser, basically it's your, this is your like a slash, like root page. But then let's say we have some, we build in like a teacher application, and we have our tools. So we create a new folder and we calling it tools. Yeah, we need to like keep it, you need to keep your folder name as you want your root to be named. So if you want to like a root hub /tools, you creating the tools folder. And here you're creating a new page, TSX, and let's also create some fast. So we just exporting default, like we exporting React component with the content inside. How it's going to work? So right now, what we have our app folder where we have our root page, we have the root layout, and we have like the first route that call tools with the page with the name tools, like just the word tools. Let's go back our root page and let's go now to the tools page. By the way, before we go, like think about what will happen when we'll navigate to the tools page. You remember that the layout that we added, where we added like header and footer, it's the root layout. So it is shared across all the pages. So right now, if we go to the tools page, again, we see basically like a predictable behavior. We have this header that is shared across everything. We have the footer and only content changed, because instead of passing the children as our root page, we pass the children as our page in the in the tools folder, so in the tools route. Let's also like just keep it interesting and add additional layout here, just so it's more understandable for you. We'll like name it layout.tsx. It's always like this naming the page and layout always should be this way. This is how it works. Like you should always name it like this. You name your folder as you want your routes to be named. Here you need to have the page tsx if you want to make a page, or a layout if you want to make a layout. And here let's export tools layout, and we pass the children as well. And just for the interest, instead of just passing the children, so basically showing nothing, just like a regular div, let's add something else. Let's add some, I don't know, some. Let me see what we will add. Maybe some div, and add a word here, like a tools h1. Let's do like this. Okay. And maybe add some styling, so it's like easier to h1 class name. Okay, yeah. So what is happening right now? Our page that we have on the tools nested inside the layout that is related to the tools folder, to the tools root. This kind of hamburger nested inside another layout that is our root layout with the header and footer. So it's just nesting structure, and this layout for the tools, if you want to then add some ID to like dynamic root segment, the layout will be applied to this as well. This is what we'll discuss right now. So if you want to add a dynamic root, you add in a new folder, and instead of calling it just as a static value, you call it something like, let's say you call it ID inside the square brackets. And here we doing basically the same that we already doing everywhere else. So we are exporting the page TSX to make it a valid root segment. And here we are doing the export default tools page, or call it like you want. I'm just applying autocomplete for the fast to make it like faster. And here, what is interesting, like let's say, okay, here's the ID and how we access it. What happens if we go to the like /123? Like nothing, yeah? So we have like basically the same. So we are on an ID page, yes, but I mean, how it's going to work, how I can pass the ID? It's quite easy. Like all you need to do is just ask for this for the via like when you exporting the default component. So this component, if you are creating the page inside the ID like a dynamic root and all the nested roots, these components know about the params that you're passing. And let's here, instead of ID, pass the params.id. And we see the 1, 2, 3 that we pass here. So if you are the structure in the params and passing it to the dynamic segment, you can always get it. So what is interesting, like if, for example, if from this page, our tools, let's say like tools main page, we'll add like a cards and pass the ID to this ID page. Here, this component know about this. You can like use this ID to just fetch like this card, this information about this tool. We are like on the server and get all the information ready. So without additional work from your end. So it's quite nice to use. Let's also discuss the catch-all route here. So let's say you want to, instead of like catching just one segment, just like /ID, you want to basically catch everything after this segment. So /something/something/something. What you're doing is you keep in the same square brackets, but you add in 3 dots at the beginning. Basically, what this means is like get everything that you pass and save it in an object that we can access. How it works? If we go to like some ID, then we'll go again to some ID, then we'll again do something. It will all saved, and then we can basically access like this segment, and this segment. This is useful when you add in some like callbacks and other. So you just, or some login or sign up page. Basically, if you want to cache everything that is coming to this segment, and for example redirect to that /213, we will do this. It will be useful for us when we will be setting the authorization. And it's basically it. What else is useful is sometimes if you want to make a folder that is here, but more for the organization purposes. So let's say you want to build some dashboard, but inside the dashboard, like you want to save some routes inside the folder for the organizational purposes, but you don't want to make it like a root. So how it's done is you create a new folder, you call it like dashboard. This is not going to be accessible for them roots. So here you can add, let's say, like settings. And here inside we will export the full settings page. So we don't need to access this root. We not need to go like /dashboard/settings. Instead, all we need to do is basically just click settings, and we will have our root visible. So this folder called the dashboard acts as a organizational kind of, to make it organized, nicely structured, and easy to navigate and understand. So this is what is also useful. Okay, let's now do our GitHub synchronization. Let's connect a repo and deploy it to Vercel, so we'll have our app ready and publicly available. Like, I will explain my way of doing this and just how I see this in the fastest and easiest way possible. We open the browser, we go to GitHub, we need to have the account ready. We go to repositories, we create a new one, we keep it private or public, depends. For this I will keep it public. Next, I will like I have also the test repository already, so it will cost like test or like Next.js YouTube, and I think I will update this along the way while working on the project. We keep it public, nothing, do not change anything here, and just create a repository. We have this link. Now we need to run some of the commands. By the way, you have all these commands here, but I will also add them to the video description as well. So we'll have this for easier access. So we start with initialize command. We just click git init. Then we do git add. Then like what we are doing here, we initialize the repository, like GitHub repo, but it's all happening locally. So we just like working right now like on our computer. We add in all the files that we have here. We'll basically adding them to our local repo. Then we need to commit these changes. So what we done, we committed the changes to our local repo. So in our local repository, GitHub local repository, we have these changes committed. But now we somehow need to assign it to our remote repository, so it's publicly available somewhere on the web. And for this, we do like this command. We need to add origin, remote add origin, and our repo URL. It will be unique, this one. So you need to copy your like unique one. And then we need to push the changes, basically to push the stuff to our right now like a repository in the GitHub. So we are pushing the changes. It's all good. Let's by the way, you can install this GitHub source control plugin that will let you then, instead of doing this all here in the terminal, doing it all inside them, just right here. Let's add something here. I just want to show it really fast because I find it useful. I never actually use it via terminal after I do the first commit, because I then just use this one, this step. Let's add something, like apply some styling or stuff. And you see, like we have all the changes. We can just generate the commit message with this button. Or I don't know, it's not generating for some reason, but I just applied styling for settings. We just committed the changes. So it's good. It's like 4 commands. We have the repo ready. The repo is, if you refresh the page, is here. We have all the stuff that we see and some README. By the way, this README file is, you can modify it from here if you want to like explain what your project is doing and other. Now let's make it possible. Let's make it happen on Vercel. Let's deploy it. We will go to Vercel and create an account. By the way, it's all free. It's you don't need to pay for the paid plan. Let's add a new project. If you like commit everything and following along, you see your repo here. Just import it right here. Do not change anything here because right now, like we are keeping it the same like structure from the initial repo initialization. So it's all good. Just click deploy. It's building. By the way, why it's happening is like a minute or so while it's deployed. I will explain fast what is happening right now. So if you go to package.json here, we will see our commands. So we are using the next.dev command. So basically to start the development server. We have also these 2 commands, the build and start. This is building the application that is currently building it via Vercel. So this basically, when you deploy the Vercel or you deploy like anywhere on the cloud platforms, you are building your application via next build command. It will build your application and like, just make it all, like do all is needed to build it. Like to define the routine and other. So this is, if you want to test it before deploying, you want to like to kind of test it how it's going to be deployed when you push it somewhere. Just try next build and then run next start to basically try how it's going to work via build. And yeah, this is just kind of the main scripts you're using: the dev for the dev server, build and start for the production environment. And let's check. Okay, we are deployed, we are live. Let's go to our, we have this project here. We can visit, we already have the domain assigned here, and we have our project ready. So basically we go from nothing to a deployed website. Yeah, it's basically just 3 words right now, but it's something. We have the repo, we have automatic synchronization. So when we will deploy the changes from the here, from the new like commit, it will automatically update our Next.js app, create a new build. It's all will be updated and all will be good. So yeah, this is how I work. I might miss some of the folder things that we will discuss later, but this is the main things that I use when I build and stuff. But like when I'm doing my day-to-day like application building and other with the layouts, with the pages, and yeah. So just to kind of finalize everything. Folders define our roots. Layout is the something nested that you want to share across different pages. Reuse it instead of like copying and pasting like on every page. Just do it inside the layout. It will be fine. Pages is something that's like unique for this particular page. Favicon globals deploying via GitHub commands. I will add it to the description, and everything deployed to Vercel, which is like one-click deploy with the Next.js app, which is quite easy. Don't need to stress too much about this. This is the first video. Next video we will start continue building, and instead of like focusing on the like technical details, we'll go and do more of the actual like application building. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Join Discord, leave a comments, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.